Hey everybody, welcome back to Freedom Factor. Ryan here. Oh man. This is gonna be a doozy, and as you could tell by the title, this episode we're gonna discuss something near and dear to my heart. And that is America and what is going on. Here's a question that I have for the audience, and really for people in general, if anybody shares this, sees this, whatever. What is fascism? I mean, no. Don't jump on your computer or your phone and type into the search bar, what is fascism, question mark, and hit enter. No. Use your brain. Use your understanding of everything you know at this moment. And just in your own words. No one can ever do this. I've done it on Twitter, Reddit, Facebook, you name it. Every platform known to man, I've asked this question. And I ask it the exact same way every single time. Quote, in your own words, without looking it up, how would you define fascism? That's it. Now, I could do an entire breakdown of what is fascism, but it's been covered a lot by people smarter than me, people with a little more political knowledge. But I'm just going to do a broad strokes here because I really, really do think that people don't understand, and I really want them to kind of grasp the concept here of what fascism truly is. Now, we all look at fascism, I think, as a society. You can look at fascism from a broad perspective, a historical perspective, and most of us would understand what image is conjured up when you hear the word fascism. You think where the term originated, Italy in the 1930s and 40s under fascist dictator Benito Mussolini. Or people will even leap to the National Socialist Workers' Party of Germany dictatorial leader Adolf Hitler. Notice I didn't call him something there. Even though he kind of falls under pseudo-fascism. Most people think Mussolini's Italy or Hitler's Germany. And that's their basis of understanding of what is a fascist, what fascism is. The thing that you need to understand about fascism is what it's not. And that's where we get into a little bit of a problematic area, if you will, with regard to fascism. And so the question I have for today's program is America slipping into fascism? Now, I didn't have time to pull up the clip, and maybe I will in post and put it up. But Anna Kasparian from the Young Turks, who I admire, I respect her a lot. I'm not dogging her in any way. She had a lot of. If you haven't watched Anna Kasparian's interview on the Tucker Carlson show, definitely check it out. It's really insightful. Even if you don't agree with them, she says some good things. I mean, I'm talking about agree with either one of them. If you disagree with Tucker or disagree with Anna or disagree with both, whatever. But she says some really good things. She basically is, she does a lot of commenting on the state of the political division in America these days and how it's troubling to see people being so divided when really there's a lot of things we have in common and a lot of things we share. And it kind of harkens back to a really great quote by one of my favorite musicians of all time, Chris Ledoux. And the quote goes, quote, well, there's always been groups of people that could never see eye to eye, and I always thought if they'd get the chance to sit down and talk face to face, they might realize they got a lot in common. And that is just excellent. And really that's what, Anna kind of drove home in the interview. However, She did say one thing that I really do disagree with on, and I mean, it's not like out of malice or anything, but I just think she's overblowing the situation. And that is the simple fact that she said one of her big fears is the rise of fascism in America. To which I have to say, and pardon my language here, but fucking what? I don't think I don't think people understand this. So, what better example of, I guess, the insanity surrounding this whole debate on is America becoming more fascist than the most recent? And I really didn't want to have to weigh in on this. I really didn't want to weigh in on this because I think it's so stupid. But I feel like there's just I can't anymore. And so I feel like I must. And I apologize in advance because it ain't me, babe. This is not what I wanted to do. But it's just gotten so absurd and ridiculous that I just have to make a comment, and I had to make a video about it. And I'm sitting here laughing because it is just absurd, all of this. If you don't know what I'm talking about, I can't believe I'm actually covering this. Jesus. Sydney Sweeney. Sydney Sweeney was in a jeans ad. Ad campaign, really. It's a number of them. I'm going to show you a couple of them here. For American Eagle, which, shocker, hey, I didn't know this. Did you all know this? Shocker, American Eagle's still around. Like, that's like, Matt Walsh did a good job on one of his recent episodes detailing this absolute madness. Like Hollister, Aeropostale, all these, like 90s, like, clothing companies that I thought were gone. I thought we were just relegated to, like, the bargain basement or sold at Walmart or some other... I can't remember the company. There's a company that basically has become, like, now, like, the Walmart brand, and it used to be a huge brand. I think it was Hurley or something. And it cracks me up. So here, without further ado, I'll subject you to it as well. Here we go. Ad 1.
Sydney Sweeney, Hasbro Canes.
That's it. That's the ad. Sydney Sweeney has great jeans. Granted with, Mustang, that's pretty Americana and stuff. So, yeah. And then we have ad number 2.
Sydney Sweeney, Hasbro Canes.
Okay, so that's 2 of the ads. Now, what I'm about to show you, they're going to show the third ad, the one that's, like, really causing quite a stir. Which, I'm sorry, I don't mean to make light of this, but this is the state we are in 2025 America, and I'm almost, like, embarrassed by this. It's kind of sad, really. It really is. So, let's start with the first one. Buckle up, kids. This one's going to be rough.
Did American Eagle just run an ad for eugenics?
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney, Hasbro Canes.
Totally just talking about denim, right? Just a blonde-haired, blue-eyed woman explaining how her good genes gave her personality and purity. I mean, are we really going to pretend that this isn't a little fashy-coded? Look, I'm not saying that Sydney Sweeney personally wrote this ad to revive the Third Reich, but American Eagle absolutely knew what they were doing here. You don't get to drop lines about inherited traits, blue eyes, and great genes while zooming in on somebody that could have walked straight off of a Nazi propaganda poster and expect people not to catch that reference. Good genes used to mean racial purity in fascist circles, and now it's just denim marketing. We are watching fascist aesthetics sneak back into pop culture through fashion ads, trad wife influencers, and yes, now blue jeans. If you think this was an innocent ad, you have not been paying attention.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
So, yeah. That's the first react. Holy cow. It gets worse. I'm sorry. I have to. I'm going to continue to subject you to this. I had to do it. So, it's my duty. So, here we go. Next clip.
Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
That is Nazi propaganda. Ready for next one? Here we go. We're going through it. We're going through it. Let's play the next clip.
You guys are complaining about that Sydney Sweeney jeans ad, so I went and saw it. That's Nazi propaganda. Wow. I thought it was gonna be like kind of bad. That's gonna be in history book.
I will be the friend that's too woke because those Sydney Sweeney American Eagle ads are weird. Like, fascist weird. Like, Nazi propaganda weird. Should we be surprised that a company whose name is literally American Eagle is making fascist propaganda like this? Probably not, but it's still really shocking. Like, a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman is talking about her good genes. Like, that is Nazi propaganda.
If you haven't fully comprehended how bad it is, I need you to open your fucking eyeballs and listen. This is Nazi shit. Pure Nazi shit. Saying that a blonde hair, blue-eyed girl has good genes is Nazi shit. Saying anybody has good genes is eugenics. Blonde hair, blue-eyed, Nazi shit. This pro-Americana bullshit, talking about pure Americans having good genes, this is Nazi shit that people, especially Jews, have been warning about for a very long time. Oh, it's not that big of a deal. Jeans is just a play on jeans. Shut the fuck up. This is Nazi shit.
Sydney Sweeney's jeans ad is giving ethnic state propaganda. It is giving dystopian. It is giving 1940s Germany. And they could have had her said anything. She could have just said, I'm hot, drink my bathwater, here are my jeans. But instead they had her say, genes are passed down from parents to children. I have good genes. My genes are blue. Why? Yeah, no, that was like the most thinly veiled propaganda I think that I've ever seen. I hate it.
So all these people are pretty much they're coming out, and is it any surprise that two of them have septum piercings? Like, good God, man, you really, like, it's like right out of the playbook. And I apologize, they're like the ugliest of women, very visibly upset about Sydney Sweeney, who's quite attractive, because she's saying it's a play on words, little portmanteau of like, oh, genes and jeans, like jeans, the DNA and jeans, like the pants that you wear. And they're freaking out over fucking jeans. Like, is this real? And oh my God, like, okay, so again, there they go using the fascism thing. And, I felt that the Inigo Montoya quote was quite appropriate for detailing how these people do not know what they're talking about. And then, of course, Godwin's Law once again rears its ugly head when everybody's saying this is Nazi propaganda. Calm down, Gorlock. You're not really, you don't know what you're talking about. You're out of your depth. First of all, no, it's not. It's not propaganda because it's an advertisement for denim. I really don't understand how these people function in a normal society with this complete devoid of intellect. I mean, they're just so dumb. It's so dumb. No, it's not Nazi propaganda. You're just upset because she's blonde hair, blue eyed, and no, it's not like this whole like fascist Nazi whatever bullshit that you want to try and pass it off as. So I'm gonna continue commentary, but first let me play this next. My God, it gets worse.
Genes are passed down.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Sydney Sweeney has great genes.
My genes are blue. I love my blue genes. Genes, blue.
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color. My genes are blue.
Donald Trump Jr. posted this AI-generated image poking fun at Sydney's commercial. Donald is so hot right now.
Yeah, who wants to f my dad?
I just did a stinky little poo-poo in my jeans, but you can't even tell. Some jeans are better than others. I get mine from American Eagle.
My jeans are superior, and by that, I mean white with blonde hair. Don't check my roots. MAGA stands for my ass looks great in American Eagle. Oh, sorry, I just took a huge
Genes are passed down from parents to offspring, often determining traits like hair color, personality, and even eye color.
Asians are the best race.
Ronnie Chang has the best genes.
Now, though that is obviously from I think it should be illegal to call that channel Comedy Central anymore, because it hasn't been comedy in with the exception of South Park, it hasn't been comedy in years. Like, none of their original created content is comedy. And whoever that chick is, I don't watch Comedy Central, so I pirate all my South Park because I don't have cable. No, but like that whole like whoever that person is, my jeans up there, my jeans. You're not funny. The fact that they have, I'm assuming, I think it might be Daily Show, which, I mean, wasn't even funny when Jon Stewart hosted it. But, like, I'm assuming that's Daily Show. I don't even think they have a live audience. I think it's just a pre-recorded laugh track that they do because, nobody would actually laugh at that. That is just stupid. All right, we're almost done, I promise. We got a couple more to get through before I make some stunning commentary. Here we go. Let's go with this next one.
If you need help understanding the controversy behind the American Eagle and Sydney Sweeney collaboration, I got you. In order to understand what makes it controversial, we need to understand what makes Sydney Sweeney's jeans so great. Is it that they're blue? Or is it that these American popularized style of pants are being worn by a white woman with blonde hair, blue eyes, as she is being considered a sex symbol and sexualized all throughout the commercials? Very subtly,
I just have to pause it right here and provide. She specifically had to kind of detail that Sydney Sweeney is white. Honey, Stevie Wonder could tell you that Sydney Sweeney is white. Anyway, moving on.
Homophone of Gene and Jean, the advertisement phrasing and spokesperson placement hint to a practice, a scientific movement started by Sir Francis Galton called eugenics. Eugenics was not just practiced by 1930s Germany, but it was also a U.S. standard from 1907 to 1979 in which we wanted ideal.
First off, point of correction, false. Anyway,
candidates to have babies opposed to those that were considered unfit for reproduction, such as immigrants, people of color and people with disabilities. But please keep in mind the current political landscape of the United States, where the presidential administration is trying to return back to a time where America wasn't diverse, and that those that are reproducing are what eugenics would consider fit for reproduction to improve society. And unfortunately, Sydney Sweeney's type fit the bill. You don't have to go as far back as 1930s Germany to see how eugenics plays a role in its advertisement. You really just need to be aware of how this is in America's genes too.
They're fucking pants. Good God. But we touched on something there that an earlier leftoid creature did, and this next clip is definitely going to also touch upon that, and we'll get to my greater point. Here we go.
Time to check the pulse. We begin with the backlash over a new ad campaign featuring actress Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, the ads are for American Eagle, and the tagline is, Sydney Sweeney has great genes. Now, in one ad, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress talks about genes as in DNA being passed down from her parents.
The play on words is being compared to Nazi propaganda with racial undertones.
The pun, good genes, activates troubling historical associations for this country. The American eugenics movement in its prime between like 1900 and 1940 weaponized the idea of good genes just to justify white supremacism.
Despite that backlash, American Eagle stock has been...
Sorry, the clip cuts out, but yeah, their stock is way up. Anyway... notice how that woman, the professor, I feel bad for anybody who has her as their professor. First of all, she was a little more accurate with it going to the 1940s. That's essentially when eugenics in America kind of died out. But what they're failing to understand here is who promoted eugenics in the United States? The progressives. That is correct. And you know who one of the biggest heroes? I mean, obviously eugenics was I guess the American movement was kind of rooted in Sir Francis Galton. It was in the 1880s. But I digress. You know who one of the biggest proponents of eugenics was? I'll give you one. I mean, it's really, it's kind of hilarious. Margaret Sanger was one of the biggest proponents of eugenics. So everybody says, you know, they're all like all these freakish individuals with septum piercings and you know, just absolute blind rage towards a pretty white girl who's an actress. Look, we're mad at a freaking actress. This is rich. This really is rich. All these people who I'm assuming are pretty far left of center. I mean, I don't think they're voting for Donald Trump. I don't think that they're championing the ideals of people like Thomas Massey and, you know, even Ron DeSantis. I'll get into the Israel thing on another video, but I don't think they're on the right. They're people who are for these progressive left-leaning ideologies and it's hilarious that they're like, this is all Nazi propaganda. Hold on, I'm not very good at the robot voice. This is Nazi propaganda. Beep beep boop boop. That's essentially, they're NPCs. They're just touting these lines. So the real scary part about this is FDR was a big fan of eugenics and what the Nazis were doing. He's a champion of the progressives. Margaret Sanger was a huge proponent of eugenics. In fact, she's the person, if you don't know who Margaret Sanger is, she is the vile, disgusting creature that basically founded Planned Parenthood and champion this whole idea of abortion. Now, you can stand wherever you want on the abortion issue, but you can't deny the fact that abortion is essentially a form of eugenics. That's essentially what abortion is, especially for the fact that Margaret Sanger was a big proportion of abortion and eugenics among the African American community in early 1900s America, to the point where, I mean, she is a vile racist, and they champion this woman. And it's no surprise, her legacy, she would be so proud of her legacy when she sees that a vast and overwhelming majority of abortion clinics service minority communities. She would be so over the moon at that idea. But Sydney Sweeney's ad is promoting eugenics, is propping eugenics up as this. No. You people supporting this whole idea of reproductive rights, quote, air quotes there, is supporting eugenics. You don't understand it because you're stupid and don't get it. Open your eyes. My eyes are wide fucking open, and I can see this is a play on words for a goddamn Gene commercial. And you know what? Sydney Sweeney, everybody's saying Sydney Sweeney's talking about how good her genes are. Yeah, she's attractive. She has a very nice body. She's healthy. She could be any race. Anyone who has those characteristics would be considered as someone who has good genes. I'm talking about the hereditary genes, not the pants. And then American Eagle comes in and says, we have great genes. The other part that's hilarious about this, because it's one of the big swing and a miss that really, really cracks me up. So if we look at the, I guess you could say, historical context, American Eagle, which is the jean company, the clothing company, I mean, really, they do jeans, polos, t-shirts, boxers, outerwear, swimwear, etc. But right now, this is their big push is this. Looking at the beginnings of this company, it was started by Jerry and Mark Silverman. Definitely sounds very Nazi to me, I guess. Silverman. And the current CEO, who's overseeing this entire ad campaign, mind you, because I don't know about you, but I think that executive officers kind of, sign off on things. And if this was really, really bad, this person would not sign off on it. The current CEO of American Eagle is Jay Schottenstein. Okay? His mother, her maiden name is Hurwitz. And his father is Jerome Schottenstein. Now, you might think like, what's so what? Let me just read you a little bit about Jerome Schottenstein. Or as it was originally pronounced, Yaakov Meyer Chaim Schottenstein, born March 5th, 1926, to a Jewish family, son of Ephraim Schottenstein, a Lithuanian Jewish immigrant. So, Jay Schottenstein is the descendant of Lithuanian Jews. But he's somehow a Nazi because of this quote-unquote propaganda. I'm pretty fucking sure that a Nazi and a Jew are diametrically opposed ideologies and racial anything. They're completely opposite. Because I don't know about you, but everything I've ever learned about Nazis, from the 1930s up until the neo-Nazi movement of today, they are not too fond of Jews. Just throwing that out there. I'm thinking that maybe, possibly. So is this a sign that America is slipping into fascism? I don't think so. I think, and honestly, I'm glad the word's making a comeback. This is a portion of America slipping into retardation. Because this is the dumbest outrage I have ever seen in 2025. This tops it. This is so ridiculous. I can't believe that we're here talking about it. And it's ridiculous. The fact that these people are saying this is Nazi propaganda. No, it's not. It's a Gene commercial playing a play on words, showing a pretty blonde girl to sell their product. Because I don't know about you, but I grew up in an era in the 1990s. There was this phrase among the general advertising world called sex sells. I mean, like, there are people who made an entire career out of that. People like Kathy Ireland and Cindy Crawford made an entire livelihood around that mentality, that ideology that sex sells. You take a good-looking woman and you put her in a magazine, or you put her on a billboard, or you put her in a television commercial. Whatever she's wearing, like, it's not as prevalent anymore, but back in the day, there used to be this thing called the Victoria's Secret catalog. Many a young boy growing up in the 90s is very, very familiar with this. It would come in the mail, and it would have advertisements for all the lingerie that Victoria's Secret sold. And their models, they called them angels, modeled these outfits and underwear. And there was this general pervasive mentality that, oh, if I buy that lingerie, I could be as good looking as Tyra Banks. Or I could be as good looking as insert whatever model. There was one, I can't remember her name, but I thought she was really good looking. And they thought, like, if I wear this lingerie, I will be good looking too. I will look just as good in this lingerie as all these good looking women. And that's what sells. So when you have Sydney Sweeney, who's an attractive actress, advertising and modeling these jeans, denim jeans, people see it and go, oh, Sydney looks great in those jeans. I wonder if I would look great in those jeans too. And they go out and buy it. Welcome to Advertising 101. Free lesson for you right there. You don't even need to pay tuition to learn that. That is how it works. That is how advertising works. And the fact that people are freaking out over it, no, America's not slipping into fascism because most of you dumb fucking people do not know what fascism is. And I encourage you to actually take a deep look. Maybe I'll do a video one day on what fascism actually is, but I can tell you what it's not. It's not Donald Trump. Although, Donald Trump has done some bad things, with his second term. I won't get too deep into it, but he has done some bad things. But they're definitely not fascist. And the fact that people, like, for one example, people are comparing the ICE detention facility in the Everglades as, Auschwitz. They're comparing it to Auschwitz. Funny. I don't remember Auschwitz being the primary route location for people being deported back to where they came from. That's what the ICE facilities all throughout the country are doing. They round up illegal immigrants so that they can be in centralized locations so that they can be deported easier. It's called logistics. Like, figure it out, people. I don't understand how people can be so dense and so stupid to think that a Gene commercial is Nazi propaganda, Yes, because Sydney Sweeney is telling all of us to not patronize businesses of minorities. Sydney Sweeney, in her jean commercial, is somehow putting in the image in your head that you've got to expel the Judenrat. No, you dumbasses. This is a advertisement that you are getting bent out of shape about. And I think a lot of I personally, looking at some of these reaction videos I shared, especially the large woman with the trans flag behind her. I'm assuming she's a woman. I could be mistaken because, but I'm assuming she's a woman with the septum piercing. They're just jealous because they're ugly and nobody wants to go anywhere near them. I'm sorry, but last time I checked, a lot of young boys find Sydney Sweeney attractive, not some overweight, septum-piercing clad trans activist. No, the only people that actually are attracted to that are fellow activists that have been lobotomized by leftist ideology. So, to answer the question, I guess, is no, America is not slipping into fascism. America is not becoming a fascist state. And all these, I've seen a lot of tweets and these posts from more brain dead morons that are saying like, oh, wow, did you know that when the Olympics comes to LA next year, it'll be the first time since 1936 that a fascist country has hosted the Olympics? Wow. Why don't you just put a sign on your head that says, I'm stupid and don't know what the hell I'm talking about? Because you're stupid and don't know what the hell you're talking about. So, in conclusion, I guess you could say, yes, these dumb people are like not sure what's going on with advertising and all that. And America is not slipping into fascism. America is not turning into a fascist state. Because I can guarantee you, if America was turning into a fascist state, you would not be allowed to say it's becoming a fascist state. Because fascism controls media. Fascism is authoritarian, and the government controls what is said. Kind of like a fascist state would jail people for social media posts. Looking at you, England. So, anyway, that's all I've got for today. I just wanted to... This whole Sydney Sweeney thing is ridiculous and absurd. So anyway, thanks for tuning in. Hit that like, hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel out. And I will catch you guys all on the next one. Cheers.